Okay guys, this is what a auction agreement looks like. I'm going to take you through the key parts of this. It's a very detailed agreement. I'm just going to highlight the key sections. This is not legal advice. Make sure you do speak with your solicitor before you sign anything. But I'll just take you through the key things that you need to factor in before you start making any offers and attend the auction. Right at the top, we just have the details of where the auction is to be held. In this section, next section under property, this has the address of the property being sold and the title type. Most commonly we see as freehold and cross-lease freehold, but the other title types there are still relevant in some cases. Stratum and freehold is typically apartments. You also have the legal description of the property listed here as well, and the size of the property. Then the next section here under number 1, conditions of sale, this will always have the default settlement period. This is set by the vendor. If that doesn't work for you, you can negotiate to change that either shorter or longer. You just need to have a variation to this agreement agreed before the auction date. Under the next section here, you have this conduct of auction. The most important part, or the most commonly part that we look at here, is the deposit amount that you need to make payment for when you win the auction. That's usually set at 10%. Again, this is negotiable, and if you need to make that less, quite often we see 5% is accepted. Then you can try and have that agreed prior to the auction through a variation agreement as well. Next section here are the chattels that are included in the sale of the property. You can see in this example there's quite a lot that's struck out. Whatever is relevant for that particular property will be showing there, and so just make sure that's all in line with your understanding before the auction. Section 2, this is only if there's an existing tenant. If you're buying this section will be blank, so you can scroll on. And then from here on, general terms of sale, from section 3 onwards here, this is all standard. You don't need to know this off the back of your hand. It is important, but unless there's a variation to it, you can assume that it's all safe and in your best interest. But again, just double check with your solicitor. So I'll scroll right to the bottom till we get down to the further terms, which is the main part that you do need to pay attention to, and I'll help you with this, or your advisor will help you with this. So all of these conditions here are not standard. These are added in on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes there'll be nothing here, sometimes there'll be a full page. I've just highlighted the examples we've got here: fire compliance, limited liability, warranties. These are things that were relevant for this particular property. And I've also created 2 extra ones here that do pop up from time to time. Unconsented work, very common. Do see a lot of that, so we need to make sure that is all squared away with the bank before you attend the auction, and often there are insurance implications for that. And then you've got flat plan, so that's when it's a cross-lease property and there may be some discrepancies with the actual current footprint of the property and the agreed flat plan with the council. Next section is GST information. You almost always won't be GST registered for this purchase, so you can scroll on, but check with your accountant if you're not sure. And then this is the when you do actually win the auction, this is where the purchase price will be written, the deposit payable will be written, and then be signed by both parties. And then the last page here is just the vendors and your solicitor details. And once that's all filled in, that's all done. So yeah, really important to understand how this works. Any questions, talk to your advisor, and we can always point you in the right direction.